In the headlines, President promises safe return of kidnapped Kaduna train attack victims. Death toll rises to 10 as 24 rescued in Lagos building collapse. Fire guards Independent National Electoral Commission office in Zamfara State. Away from Nigeria, Russian offensive devastates towns in eastern Ukraine as EU prepares oil sanctions. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. President Muhammadu Buhari says no efforts will be spared to ensure safe return of all those being held by bandits. The president also directed security agencies and the Nigerian Railway Corporation to set up a situation room that will provide more regular and detailed information to families. The president spoke on Monday when he received a delegation of residents from the Federal Capital Territory who were at State House Abuja to pay him Salah homage. Kehinde Amodu reports.
The last time President Buhari hosted this kind of a gathering was on the 4th of June 2019, before the COVID-19 pandemic. But even as the Muslim faithful celebrate Eid al-Fitr, a heavy burden lies on government's shoulders. This is why the president is giving specific orders.
I have directed security agencies to ensure quick and safe recovery of all victims of kidnapping. I urge the railway management to immediately set up a situation room for the coordination of the rescue mission and for a minute-by-minute engagement with the families of the captives.
President Buhari is also giving assurances that bandits will not grow into another menace like the Boko Haram threat.
Defeating the terrorists and bandits require more than weapons. We also need human intelligence, which is necessary to frustrate terrorist plans.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Bello, are both at the head of this delegation, thanking the president for hosting these delegates who have come to pay him Salah homage.
Every generation of leaders is confronted with its own problems. There is no generation of leaders, there is no leader that will not be confronted with his own or her own problems. Our government has been confronted with problems, but it's in the very nature of God to provide everything that is required by leadership to surmount the challenges that it faces. God will not give us any challenge that is beyond us.
For every issue reported in the newspapers, I assure you that 10 have been thwarted, 10 have been resolved, 10 have been successfully, proactively prevented, but nobody speaks about them.
President Buhari has again explained that terrorists are using civilians as human shields, which is why he is reluctant to order a frontal strike. He's however assuring Nigerians that the abductors are just pushing their luck, as it is only for a while before they are finally crushed. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has assured that the military will not be involved in the politics leading to the 2023 general elections. He said the Army will instead remain loyal to its constitutional role of securing the country against external aggression. Yahaya disclosed this at the Combined Army-Air Force Salah launching in Maiduguri. The report.
The first combined Salah luncheon of the Nigeria Army and Air Force had in attendance the two service chiefs and officers, families, as well as recuperating troops of Operation Haɗin Kai. It was a festive moment as guests were thrilled with entertainment from cultural troops, stand-up comedy, and more.
I said, nothing, sir. He said, what did they pursue you? I said, I just want right from my heart. He said, young man, you're under arrest. I said,
Special delicacies were also served to honor wounded troops of Operation Haɗin Kai and fallen heroes who paid the supreme price. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, said the military will not engage in politics, saying it will only discharge its constitutional duty in defending the country. He ordered frontline troops to be ruthless in eliminating terrorists, bandits, and violent criminals, adding that more logistics and artilleries will be provided to accomplish the fight.
We should all be ruthless with the terrorists. We should be ruthless with the bandits, ruthless with the kidnappers, ruthless with all violent criminals. The Salah gift I expect from our gallant troops is the neutralization of these enemies of the state and capture and retrieval of their weapons in order to make our dear country safer. And as we approach the vision of heightened political activities and build up to the general elections in 2023, we will remain apolitical. We will remain professional and committed only in the conduct of our constitutional duties.
Hopefully, sanity will soon be restored in Sambisa, Madara Mountains, and the Timbuktu Triangles and Lake Chad region. Also, more helicopters such as the Agusta 109 Tracker and an A129 Mongusta are also being expected. This platform will enable us to sustain the sanity achieved so far.
And we have seen a lot of progress, especially here in the Northeast and Borno State as the epicenter of the insurgency. We want to thank all those, our gallant officers.
The motive behind the combined Salah launching of the Nigerian Army and Air Force is to build partnership and strong synergy among the security agencies in the fight against security threats in the country.
The Emir of Kebbi, Shehu Chindo Yamusa III, has urged residents of Keffi to be resilient and productive in different aspects of their lives in order to contribute positively to the development of Keffi, Nasarawa State, and the country at large. The royal father made the call in his Salah message to his subjects at the Emir's palace in Keffi. Mardia Umar reports.
Post-Eid celebration is usually a colorful affair in the ancient city of Keffi. This celebration, a show of culture and wealth, takes place after the Eid prayer. The Emir is accompanied from the prayer ground by his chiefs as he makes his way to the palace to deliver his Salah message to his subjects.
I want to use this opportunity to call on farmers to take advantage of the rain. This year's rainy season is not going to be long, as explained, so we need to take advantage of it. I also want to call on the youth to be serious with their education because it is very important. Our traditional business is what we can also tap into to make a living.
Of Salah opened by the Emir, a lot of activities are going on. This is a display of culture. This is a display of wealth, because some of the houses that we've seen today have been adorned by a lot of expensive ornaments, and everybody has started the celebration after the Emir has declared the Salah celebration open. So this is what is happening in the ancient city of Keffi. Activities for Salah celebration after the Eid have kick-started, and everybody is in that celebration mood.
The residents are not left out in the celebration as they gather in front of the palace, waiting for the message from the Emir before all the celebrations starts. They express happiness that this year's Eid is celebrated without COVID-19 restrictions.
This time around is going to be the best because everybody is prepared. Both the horses, the people, everybody is happy and they are ready for it.
during the COVID-19 problem. More especially, Kefi, we faces a lot of problem because even this Salah Eid, that we did not get time to go even for the congregation prayer that we normally used to go. We observe the Eid prayer in the central Jumu'ah mosque in Kefi here. But now, as the COVID-19 is over, so now we are free.
The activity where you can come in tomorrow or next tomorrow, you can very suitable activities. More than the order last year as per COVID-19 lockdown is there. Now we are free. So by God's grace, the activity for tomorrow or next tomorrow will be suitable activities.
To the people of Kefi, it is a hilarious event because this is the first time they're having a celebration this big after the COVID-19 pandemic. And to them, the celebration has just begun. Mardiya Umar, Trust TV News, Kefi.
And in Katsina State, Muslim faithfuls thronged Eid grounds as early as 7:30 a.m. to pray the usual 2-rak'at Eid prayer. The Emir of Katsina, Abdul Mumini Kabir Usman, performed the prayer at Kofar Guga Eid ground. Shortly after the prayers, the Emir, his councillors, district heads and other traditional title holders marched to Kangiwa Square, the venue for the annual festivities. Abdullahi Amadi takes a look at some side attractions of the annual Salah festival.
As the procession of the Emir and district heads inches towards the Kangiwa Square, there are some unique traditions and entertaining displays that make the event colorful. The popular Endo Kinkara, for instance, caught the attention of spectators. Then there are these traditional drummers and singers on the entourage of traditional title holders. This array of singers whose talents preserve culture and entertain to the admiration of the people. The Entauri, warriors and hunters also formed part of the annual Salah festivities in the ancient city of Katsina. On the other side, the swingers are making a brisk business here. Amid the festivities, the Emir of Katsina has some assurances for the people on the state of insecurity, agriculture and education. I urge you to help one another because we have a series of challenges bedeviling us on the roads, at the airports, and even in our various homes. Our only option is prayers. I believe that if we pray, we will surmount our problems. The Emir charged people to be upright and proactive in dealing with issues and called for more prayers to overcome all challenges bedeviling Katsina State. Abdullahi Ismail Amadi, Trust Television News, Katsina. The
Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Nuhu Bamali has suspended 4 district heads shortly after the traditional Eid al-Fitr Salah celebration. A statement issued by the Media and Publicity Officer to the Emirate, Abdullahi Aliyu Kwarbai, said the suspension was with immediate effect. According to the statement, those suspended include Ubangarin Zazzau and District Head of Soba Alhaji Bashir Shehu Idris, Sarikin Dajin Zazzau, and District Head of Kubau Alhaji Shehu Umar Aliyu. Others include Wakil Birnin Zazzau and member Kaduna State House of Assembly representing Zaria constituency Alhaji Suleiman Ibrahim Dabo and Garukuang Kudung Zazzau, and Bosa FCE Zaria Alhaji Muhammad Sani Uwais. The statement said the suspended district heads violated Article 3 of the Emirate Rules and Regulations governing Durbar horse riding. On a tragic incident, at least 10 persons have died after a building collapsed in the Ebutemeta area of Lagos on Sunday evening. According to a statement signed by the director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Adesha Margaret, on Monday, 24 persons have also been rescued alive with varying degrees of injuries. Out of the 10 deaths reported, 6 are males and 4 females. The 3-story building located on 32 Ibadan Street, Ebutemeta, reportedly collapsed on Sunday evening, with rescue operations quickly set in motion.
One of the landlords says the building had been marked for demolition, while tenants had been asked to evacuate. Plans were even made to compensate them.
By the time it was marked, it's by the time we are asking them to go out, they don't go. When we were to allow for them to know that we are very serious in what we are saying. The Hausa people came and marked the place and marked the house. They even came to steal their shops. Sometimes they steal about almost 3 shops outside here. So after some days now, they started begging that they see they will leave, they come and open the shop for them. But with that, we have a series of meetings with them, telling them to leave the place because the place is been so bad.
Rescue efforts are still going on to recover those still trapped in the debris. Even in the midst of this tragedy, another building stands marked for demolition. The occupants have been advised to leave so that demolition can commence, and it seems they still have objections.
Please, we want the government to give us time. It is not easy. There is no money in Nigeria. People are struggling. We are suffering. It is not easy. It is not easy.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has commiserated with families of those who died, sustained injuries, or were affected by the building collapse in the Ebutemeta area of Lagos State. With search and rescue ongoing at the site, he prayed for divine assistance in the operations and wished those injured a speedy recovery. The president expressed his sympathy on Monday in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina. According to him, the frequency of building collapses in the country has become increasingly embarrassing. President Buhari therefore urged the relevant state authorities to work closely with professional bodies to put a halt to such incidents, which he described as unfortunate but preventable. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up shortly. Women Group calls for more participation from women. Details and more. Join us again.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way. while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
You're watching Trust News Update. Here's a look at the top stories again. President promises safe return of kidnapped Kaduna train attack victims. Death toll rises to 10 as 24 rescued in Lagos building collapse. Elsewhere, the local government office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, at Kaura Namoda in Zamfara State has been gutted by fire. The fire, which started at about 9 p.m. on Monday and razed the entire building as firefighters battled in vain to put out the fire. Eyewitness account has it that nothing was removed from the affected INEC office. The cause of the incident has not been ascertained yet. Efforts to reach the head of Voters Education and Publicity Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Zamfara State were unsuccessful as he did not respond to calls from Trust TV. And on political matters, as 2023 election draws nearer, women have begun building themselves up in order to participate fully and secure elective positions at federal and state levels. At a meeting in Kaduna, some women have called on the state and federal governments to deal with the issue of insecurity by engaging communities to enable women get more involved. The report.
Representatives of the women, Hajia Rabisu Salisu Ibrahim, cautioned against mixing security with politics and called for a holistic approach of engaging communities while calling on the media as critical stakeholders to investigate and report with facts.
When you talk about security, you don't bring it as a politics. Security issue is beyond political issues. Any governance that come cannot say this is insurgency, because what we are suffering now, we are suffering about insurgency, not terrorism, because to fight insurgency, you have to deal with community leaders, religious leaders, the youth, the women, who are mostly affected by this insecurity. So when we talk about insecurity, it's something that is going to bring this country out of dilemma.
Since women and children are mostly affected by insecurity and other conflicts, women in this meeting say for more women to participate in politics, their security should be looked into.
We have to link the insurgency, the insecurity with the issue of women, because we are the most vulnerable. When a woman is being taken to the society, when we have men that are going down day by day, affected by the conflict, it is women that are left with children and are being in IDP camps, and it's women that have been raped every day.
They called on their womenfolk to come out and participate in the forthcoming electioneering process in order to fully achieve 35% affirmative action.
And in business news, the National Pension Commission has said 20 pension fund administrators, PFAs, have complied with its directive to raise the minimum regulatory capital requirement from 1 billion naira to 5 billion naira. The Commission disclosed this over the weekend in a statement. The Commission had approved the recapitalization exercise for the PFAs with a 12-month transition period from April 27, 2021 to April 27, 2022. PENCOM noted that majority of the PFAs met the requirement deadline, while saying that the recapitalization process led to the reduction of the number of PFAs from 22 to 20, with some mergers and acquisitions within the period. With the conclusion of the recapitalization exercise, PENCOM said stakeholders, particularly RSA holders, should expect increased effectiveness and efficiency, as well as improved service delivery from PFAs. And away from Nigeria, Russian forces shelled Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, and devastated several towns in eastern Ukraine, while the European Union prepared sanctions on Russian oil sales after Germany said it was ready to back an embargo. Russia launched a major offensive in eastern Ukraine focused on Donetsk and Luhansk after abandoning an assault on Kyiv at the end of March. Parts of those provinces were already held by Russian-backed separatists before President Vladimir Putin launched the invasion on February 24th. The northeastern city of Kharkiv was under bombardment as it has been since the early days of the invasion, the Ukrainian military said on Tuesday. And now in sports news, Russian clubs have been banned by UEFA from participating in the Champions League and all other European championships next season, European football's governing body announced on Monday. The ban comes in the wake of the country's invasion of Ukraine. The Russian team's exclusion from the Women's European Championships to take place in England in July was also confirmed Monday. Portugal, who had lost to Russia in a qualifying playoff, will take their place in Group C alongside 2019 World Cup runners-up Netherlands, Sweden and Switzerland. In addition, UEFA declared Russia's bid to host either the 2028 or 2032 European Championships not eligible. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update, but you can watch more by connecting via our social media platforms and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching.